And we're live.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for coming today. And this is a series of webinars that we do. It happens every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. No compromises. We call it No Compromise Weekly Thursdays. And this is Gigsy Creator Central. There's one guy who's basically running the show, and I'm just one of those people who's listening to him and carrying on. The guy who's running the show is the guy in the purple jacket. His name is Arvind Sundar. He is our growth head. He's going to talk to you about a bunch of things that can help you run your creative business on Gigsy successfully. Every week, we put out videos of the recording that we've done here. So you have access to all of these on our YouTube channel as well. This is accessible for all creators on the platform. And if people go ahead on YouTube and check out Gigsy Creator Central, all other people who are not creators on Gigsy also get information about Gigsy Creator Central. So every week we tend to bring up new topics to discuss for you guys to be enthused about, for you guys to actually use and experiment and ultimately make a success out of it. Yeah. So today is going to be all about product ladders. It's one of my favorite topics, and Arvind is a bit of a master at it. So I will let him talk about product ladders today. Take it away, Mr. Yoda.
Wow. Thank you, Vikram, and welcome to everybody. Like Vikram said, my name is Arvind. And before we proceed, I want to list out a couple of important things. First off, that we do have something known as a chat channel. So if you have any questions during this webinar, please go ahead and type it out. I do have the chat window open up. Samarth says hi. So hi, Samarth. And time to time, I'm going to be looking off to the side because I have a secondary monitor, and that's where I have all of my notes and all of that. And like Vikram said, we are going to be talking about a product ladder. Vikram, do you want to go ahead and introduce what is a product ladder and why it's important? Then I'll kick in.
All right. So it's very simple, right? It's a range of products and services that increase in price and value. So you will notice that as we go along the conversation today, a lot of the topics will be centered around how you can actually run subscriptions for yourself on Gigsy. And that ties in very well with the product ladder concept itself. So basically, a product ladder helps you build trust. It helps reduce the risk that you have in order to sell your product. Unlike Western nations, in India, we start with mistrust, right? Because people don't want to pay, and we want to get rid of that habit of where they don't want to pay. And therefore, we start with mistrust and we need to go to trust. So it's a game. We need to get that game going in a way where people slowly start trusting who we are as creators. And always, this is a golden rule. Free is a great start. Over a period of time, you start moving people to paid product ladders. So this basically is my introduction to what a product ladder is. And very simply, for me, if you're talking about a product ladder, the amount of personalization that you do in terms of your product increases as you increase the price. And the more generic it is, the more cheaper it is in terms of your service or your product. And that is where I will leave for Arvind to take over.
Great. That's a very, how do I say this? A very, very functional definition of a product ladder, right? And I completely agree with that. Now, one of the main reasons why we actually need a product ladder is quite simple. Usually when we are meeting somebody on the internet, right, for the first time or anywhere else, right, we can't just go out and say, hey, give me $10,000 for me doing something for you, right? It doesn't work like that. What does work, however, is us saying that, hey, hi, my name is Arvind, and over time, I want to build this relationship with you. I want to establish this relationship with you. And over time, as I go about building trust, what happens is that I can slowly yet steadily build and age and ascend this relationship so that I can actually get to this point where I can very comfortably ask you for money. And you're like, yeah, cool, here's my money, right? See, and like Vikram very, very accurately pointed out, right? In India, we start, and this is again my personal opinion, and this is something that we have noticed, right, as a part of dealing with everybody, right? So when it comes to us buying vegetables from the push cart to us trying to order some weird products off the internet, right? We usually start from a place of mistrust, and this is true, right? I mean, whenever we do meet strangers, our guard is up. We always want to be sure that, hey, is this guy going to be cheating being or not? We want to keep that. I mean, we have that. And when we know that our brain's wired that way, it's going to take some time for us to build this trust with somebody else because everybody's thinking about us the same way, right? And as a result, what we want to do is we want to give people a very easy, risk-free way, if you will, right, of going ahead and establishing a relationship with us, right? And that's much more easily said than done, right? Because of course you want to kind of like figure out that how what is the best way to actually start building this trust, right? I'm going to take a small question from the audience here. Why don't you guys just go out and type in the chat, right? What would be the easiest way for you to start building your trust with your audience? Go ahead on the chat box. I'm just going to type out a big yellow over there. And go ahead, type out your answer to this, right? Tell me what is your best guess at how we should be establishing this sort of trust with our audience. Usually people say stuff like, hey, I should call them up and I should talk to them. Garima says credibility. That's a very good one. Credibility is a wonderful answer. And it's a good question. I'm going to dig in a little bit more into that, Garima. How do you think that we can establish this credibility for us? Of course, one way would be that we have official certifications, right? I could say that, hey, I'm a master certified coach. I think that's the term. Apologies if it's not. Or maybe I have a PhD in nutrition science. Advertising is, I'm going to, Akarima says advertise every day. That's a good way. I'm probably going to just twist that a little bit. I'm going to say show up every day, right? And Garima, I believe that you are new with us. And one of the things that we have shared as a part of an email series is the Passion to Profit Bootcamp, where we do have, I believe, step number 2 as a part of the 30-step process is the daily dose, right? Where you're creating content every single day. And advertising or just showing up every single day makes sense. Last year, I did 365 videos in 365 days. Right now, in fact, I'm in the middle, I think I'm on day 12 or 15 of 101 career mistakes you should not make. Ishwaran says, adding value to the audience. The keys and the takeaways, yes. And certification testimonials, testimonials as well. Although I would take testimonials with a pinch of salt simply because, well, or maybe I'm just jaded and I'm very negative, but most people think like, yeah, you know what, this testimonial is probably fake. So, we want to figure out what is a good way for us to actually work around that. But yes, the key is in the takeaways. And I'm going to build on that, right? One of the best ways for us to do that is look, everything on the internet or when it comes to business itself or when it comes to relationships, right? We need to dig our well before we meet it, right? What I mean by that is think of any relationship that you have with friends, with family, with colleagues, or even with your prospective fans as well as customers. You need to essentially dig your well before you need. Think of it as a bank account where you need to deposit stuff before you can withdraw, right? You need to deposit goodwill before you can exchange that for money. So one of the best ways that I would recommend is that you give a ton of free value, right? And that's kind of what our basic product ladder is going to start off. The name might be a misnomer, even though I'm calling it a product ladder. It's more of a product staircase, right? So at the basic level, right? And this is I'm just going to be sharing like the like a sample thing of what you could be doing. And if you could take a look at chat right now, those things will be there, right? And what you can see is that there would be like, this is like a sample ladder, right? That you could probably offer your first product for free. Then you offer the next paid product that you offer at 99 rupees. Yes, I know it sounds really small, but there's an idea behind each one of these steps. And I'm going to be sharing what goes on in each of these levels with you as well. And then we have 499, 1499, 29.99, and 54.99. Of course, there's nothing stopping you from going, scaling up. um, and Garima has made a very, very wonderful point. Jo dikta hai, wahi bikta hai. So yes, top of mind recall, showing up every day is very important. So out of sight is definitely out of mind. And I realized this, and I'll give you something in context, right? Email marketing, right? When we're doing it, many people say, oh, you know what, email marketing doesn't work, and you can't do this, you can't do that. Well, they probably have like open rates of 3%, 4%, if that, right? And they send emails like maybe once a week or maybe once in every fortnight. Like we have a fortnightly newsletter. You should join for us. On the other side, on the other end of the spectrum, I send an email every single day, and every single day I'm creating content that is of value to my audience, and I have open rates of upwards of 40%, 40%, right? And I'm here to tell you that, hey, this is something that actually works. When you create content every single day, I create, you know what? I'm going to very quickly share my checklist that I have as well. Okay. And again, I'm just putting that out on the chat window. This is what I do every single day, right? I get up in the morning, and right after I finish my coffee, right? Uh, Actually, I just have black coffee because I'm going to be doing like intermittent fasting. Anyway, I create a mind map in the morning, and then I change, like, I create, like, I have one master mind map. Vikram, stop laughing. And apart from that, what I do is I create a PDF from it. I create an image. Let me see if I can actually share my screen with you, right? You guys can see this, right? So I'm just going to be showing you exactly what I do. So I have this folder here called Mind Maps, right? And you can see, yes, I'm at number 100 and, sorry, 12, right? Out of 101. As you can see, I have this one giant mind map, right? Everybody can see my screen? If so, just type out yes in the chat. Bada bing, bada boom. All right, cool. So I do have a chat, sorry, not a chat. I do have a mind map here, right? And what I've done is, this is a massive mind map. It's absolutely useless if I had to share with everybody. But then what I do is, see, I have this thing that I'm actually building, right? So I have this, and then every single day, right? So I make this, right? So this is number 12. So I've been doing this. I've been creating content like this every single day, right? And then what I do is, once I've done creating this mind map, right? What I do is, then I export it into like an image that comes out like this. It's also there in a PDF format. And then what I do is, quite simply, like I've shared in the chat box itself, right? I write out an email that goes out along with this. I put this up as a blog post, then I put it up on WhatsApp as my status message. I put it up on LinkedIn, Facebook. And then whenever possible, if I can find the relevant questions on Quora, Reddit, whatever, right? I start posting this. And this is a checklist that I built for myself. This could make, I mean, you could take that as is, you could adapt it, whatever works for you, right? But the point is, you have to show up every day and you have to start creating content. And this is what I mean by free, right? But like I said, there are other tiers, other steps that you want to take as a part of your product ladder, right? The idea of this level, the goal that you want of this free level, is to capture leads, to build your following, and to establish trust. Like Garima had said, right? We want to show up every single day, and creating useful content that is packed with a ton of value for people is a great way for you to show that, hey, one, you care. Two, you know what you're talking about. So that kind of builds your authority and your credibility as well. And finally, you're giving them something that they can really, really use, right? And that goes a long way when it's that goes a long way when you're trying to set up this sort of a relationship. But remember, this is the base thing, right? So what you're doing right now, the transaction that is happening, not in the transaction analysis kind of stuff that Mr. Ranga does, but like when you're just talking like a transaction between two people, what's happening here is quite simply, you are giving them value, and in exchange for this value, they're going to be giving you their attention, right? This attention is the most important thing that we have. At this point, we're not trying to make money from people. At this point, we're trying to establish trust. We're trying to set up like a level of credibility. We're trying to build our following, and we want to get this group of people who will listen to us, right? So that's what we're doing at the free level. And then at the base level, right, what we're trying to do is, that's like the free level. And the first paid thing, right, I'm going to call this levels 1, 2, 3, and 4. I will share these 4 levels as a part of the, excuse me, as a part of the chat as well. At the level 1, what you're trying to do is, you're trying to recover the investment that you made. Now look, you are not spending any money in creating this yet, but later on, you might choose to spend money on advertising. Perhaps you're spending money on, getting your content boosted. Perhaps you're spending money on creating this content. For example, the mind map software that I bought is costing me 1,600 rupees a year, right? It's a subscription software that I've got, and that's costing me that kind of money, right? So now if I want to do this, right, so I might want to say that, hey, you know what? I'm going to charge some money for this. This is where, like, you want to do stuff like your premium subscriptions or your paid subscriptions, right? Could be your bronze tier that you want to say, right? I've just put down a number there to say that it's low enough barrier to entry that people will pay for this. The idea behind this is to recover your investment, to kind of curate your following as well, right? You don't want all the riffraff. Because if you're just accepting, if you're just getting people willy-nilly, it feels really good, right? Like, hey, I have like 800 people who are following me, right? That's really good. But it's not worth it if they're not valuable. I know this for a fact because just like about 2 weeks, sorry, 1 week ago, I used to have almost 800 people plus in my email list, right? And then what I did was I sent them an ultimatum saying that, listen, you haven't opened any of my last 5 emails, 3 emails or something. So I'm going to be taking you off the list. And if you want to rejoin, right, go ahead and just, unsubscribe. And then I just remove people. I'm now down to like 120 people, but now my open rates have gone even high. They've gone to like some 70% or something. 70% of everybody who's getting my emails are opening it. If there are questions, I'm sorry if I forgot to mention this earlier. Please just go ahead and type it out in chat and I will answer them if it is possible then and there. If not, I'll be more than happy to return to this at the end. Okay. Another thing that you want to do with this whole 99 rupee thing or the very basic entry thing, right, is you definitely want to ascend the relationship. So whatever that those value bombs you've been dropping as a part of free, like you want to go like 5x, 10x on those, right? And the point is this, like you want to get people to understand that you is equal to value, right? Now, the way you define value can differ. Could be like a transformation that you're promising them, could be education, could be entertainment, it could be peace of mind, it could be physical flexibility, whatever is the thing that you want to offer. I believe Ms. Garima is from the Healing Earth, if I'm not mistaken. I'm curious. I haven't explored your profile too much, but if you could just type out what you guys do on Gigsy, right? I'll be able to give more relevant examples as a part of like when I'm just like nattering on. So that's going on. The next level, what you want to do is you definitely want to go ahead and set up systems, right? So we had free, then we had level 1. Now I'm talking about level 2. And level 2, you definitely want to increase your profits, set up your systems, and start growing your influence. Vikram, do you want to take over the next 2 levels or so? Well, I'm just asking. All right, not a problem. I will continue nattering on unless you have at any time, Vikram. Please feel free to. Ba, 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 ba. Oh, you can't unmute yourself. That's weird. That should be fixed now.
Hi, my God, that seemed like I was muted for a while.
We're now talking about level 3 and level 4.
Please continue. I'll pitch in soon.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. So now what we've done, right? So we started off with free, and at the free level, we're just saying like, hey, listen, this is what you're telling your audience that I have something valuable to offer. You should definitely check it out. And what's happening here, right, is that you're eliminating all risks so that people can definitely enter your ecosystem, right? And beyond that, then you're trying to recover some of the money that you've and time and effort that you've invested in this, and then you're trying to increase your profits here. You're also looking at generating money from a number of different sources, right? The number like diversification. That's kind of the name of the game. What I mean by that is if you just have only one product to sell, it's like yes or no decision for somebody, right? That's okay, right? But then different people have different needs. They have different spending capabilities, and that's going to be a pretty useful thing to have, right? So if you can cater to all of these people, then all of these people will make sense for you as an audience. So you definitely want to kind of aid and ascend this relationship itself. And finally, what you want to do is really trade in like the big money for the big values, right? This is where some things are going to be getting a little bit different because throughout until now, we've been talking about stuff such as, automation and setting up subscriptions and scaling stuff up. But when you want to, what do I say? When you really want to go ahead and make the big bucks, at that time, what happens is you will definitely need to set up a more personalized and a human sort of a thing. Now, there are 2 people who have questions. I'm going to get Mr. Ranga. If you could please unmute yourself and ask your question as you put it out in chat.
Okay. Uh, I was not sure whether I'll be able to type it out. That's why I would.
Not a problem. Please
Thanks
continue.
for allowing me. See, most of the WhatsApp forwards that come, I'm not sure if I read them. Same way, any of the emails that hit me in inbox, particularly if on a everyday basis, if I get emails from everybody,
Mhm.
I mean, I don't even open it. Maybe it contains something really valuable, but I just
Sure.
don't open it, right?
Mhm.
So, kind of sending out an email on a daily basis, sending out a WhatsApp message on a daily basis, sending out SMSs on a daily basis. I am not too sure if it'll really get me audience or it'll drive them away from me. I'm
You
not
are
sure.
absolutely right. Hmm.
One minute, I'll just complete it.
Mhm.
Whereas a friend of mine, uh, he has something like a fortnightly Sunday morning 9 o'clock post.
Mhm.
Now that post is really small, cute, and very valuable, and people start looking forward to it. I mean, I think
Mhm.
he has gathered far more audience than some of those email blasts that I keep getting, and I actually hate it. Many of
Mhm.
them are unsubscribed.
Mhm.
So I wish to know, how do you strike a balance? Where how do you know where to?
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm done.
Right. Okay. So here's the thing. You have to do you, right? So you do you. What I mean by that is the methods that I have been sharing, right? Showing up every day. Now, maybe you have not maybe you definitely have to find the system and the frequency that works for you. Like Garima had pointed out, you definitely need to figure out a way to maintain top of mind recall. Now, if you do find that posting once every 2 weeks makes sense and that is able to drive business results for you, go ahead. What I have found is when you are trying to add value, and if you are able to look at this, you're absolutely right when you said that people get a ton of emails. My wife, she has almost, I think, 11 GB out of a 15 GB full in Gmail of 100 emails. But when she gets emails from this particular company, Hustle, or when she gets emails from this company called Nicobar, she definitely opens it, right? What's happening there? What's happening there is the content that those people are putting out is resonating with her. Now, there are, of course, tons of other emails. For example, she is subscribed to Amazon, Flipkart. She gets emails from them as well, but she doesn't open all of them. The way you would feel that, hey, a daily email is really, really not for you, that's the same way that she feels about the Amazon sales and the Flipkart sales. But if Nicobar is talking about it, she actually woke up at, I think, 11:55 at night because there was a midnight sale that was launching. There's a reason for this. You will have to tailor your content so that it serves the audience that so that it connects with the audience that you're looking to serve. If you find that your audience works really well with one cute update once in 2 weeks, go for it. But what I'm going to be saying is you'll have to do that experiment and go ahead and figure out what actually works. As a part of the Passion to Profit Bootcamp, I believe step 3 or step 5 is all about doing research, right? This, as a part of this research, what you would be doing is trying to figure out what is the ideal frequency for your audience. You're going to figure out what is the competition doing. You're going to figure out what is the kind of content that actually resonates. You want to figure out what is the kind of value gap that exists in the market. What is the thing that is not being served in the market? And then as a content creator, as a business person, as an entrepreneur, you're going to be looking at figuring out how you can take this knowledge that you have done, that you acquired as a part of your research, and then applying it here. It may well be that your audience does not want a daily email. Again, it's a matter of finding out what works for you. And just one word of caution though, us into 10,000 is not our audience. What we need to be aware of is what is it that our audience wants and how is the best that we can serve them. For example, uh, I love to create content that is, very like you saw the screen sharing I had done, right? Where we're talking about career mistakes, this, that, and all that. That didn't, I mean, I was getting like mediocre response for that. But then when I started talking about stuff such as the Italian mafia, when I started talking about Punjabi music, right? Like Badshah and Wakra Swag. And when I started talking about Jasmine Walia and her song, the kind of stuff that my audience can relate to. And then I was able to segue from what my audience is interested in and then tie it into what I have to offer. My my open rates, my click-through rates, all of them, they just shot through the roof. At the end, you definitely want to figure out a way of maintaining recall. That's number one. And two, you want to create content, the type as well as the frequency that matches the wants of your audience. Ishwaran is asking, how long do we be at a level? Does it depend on number of responses? No, Mr. Ishwaran. What you would need to do there is quite simply, it's like the content that you create, right? You want to have the systems that will allow you to create content at a particular piece of level, and then you want to keep it live, right? So Personally, if you ask me, I would say keep creating like the free content every day. Give that value every day, so that what people need to realize is that the kind of stuff that you're giving at your free level has to supersede what people are giving at a paid level, right? So then the goal is to establish that, hey, for free itself, if he's giving so much, right, how much is he going to be giving for paid? That's the kind of a thing that we want to go for. Now, coming back to product ladders, right? There is a now you must be wondering, like, what can I create for each of these things? And we spoke about the free level, spoke about levels 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, in that situation, what is it that we can actually create? And I just have like a checklist, right? And I'm just going to be sharing that. But oh yeah, sure, Vikram, go ahead.
A couple of things. I'm going to sort of try and answer both of Ranga's questions and Mr. Ishwaran's questions as well. One is the concept of closed groups and open groups. Now, in WhatsApp, what typically happens in WhatsApp and on email lists, these are mostly closed groups. These are people who you might know or you might have gotten the contact of through somebody else. Now, what typically happens is you are in control of what you're sending out on these groups, and this group might grow over a period of time where you add more and more people to it. And the more people that you add, they're mostly coming through your connects again, right? I mean, you have someone within that network, and that person has another person within their network. They then refer that person, and then you add this person onto the network as well. So these are closed groups that are mostly going through word of mouth. Now, if you look at Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, and all of these other platforms, the way they work is that they're open. So even if you're posting stuff on your page, on Facebook, or on your Instagram handle, or your Twitter handle, or your LinkedIn handle, you're still making it open to the world. So the content strategy and the frequency for open groups can be a lot different than compared to what the content strategy can be for closed groups. For closed groups, if you're bombarding them with more and more content on a daily basis, but it might end up becoming spammy, right? And it might end up becoming very, very difficult for them to digest all of that information. So it's good to have a tailor-made strategy for both these open groups and closed groups as well. Now, that's one of the ways I would look at strategizing content frequency for these sort of groups, right? That's something that Ranga, that I would do to address the question that you asked. From Mr. Ishwaran's perspective, I think
thank you, that helped. Thank you so much.
Yeah. And the second thing from Mr. Ishwaran's perspective is to understand that if I have a certain number of people following me at a certain level, over a period of time, what typically happens is I can get to engage with them a lot better. I can even take them offline because I know their details and put them on a closed group so that there is a lot more instant conversation happening. And you sort of get more and more feedback from them on what is it that they would like to see from you, right? And if they get to see or get to hear some interesting things from you, or you get to hear interesting things from them about more different products that you can actually offer, then you start offering those products at a relatively higher price point, right? So it's a journey. You sort of build your audience over a period of time, and then you continue over a period of time and see if you can actually sell higher value products. And I would say that starts with a lot of open conversation, a lot of engagement happening with the audience that you have at a certain level and you've established at a certain level already. And that audience, in fact, can become the catalyst for you to actually set up more value products at higher levels also.
Sorry, Arvind, essentially. No, this is good. This is good. This is good. And the idea is that you want to take people who join you at free and you want to kind of move them from the free to the 99, 499. You want to kind of like move them up the ladder, right? And at each level, with increasing price point, what happens is you're weeding out those who are not as committed, who are as much of the perfect fit for what you have to offer, as opposed to somebody who is just in it like, yeah, okay, whatever, this sounds good. Now, one of the things that we've noticed at Gigsy, right, there are essentially two categories of creators that we've, three categories, in fact, right? We have coaches of all types. We have artists of all types. And then we have the people who are just like kicking the tires and trying to figure out what are the kind of things that I can actually do. Now, I'm just going to be giving some examples of different kinds of content that we can actually create, like different form factors, that like different things that you can offer at each level, right? Checklists, and again, I'm going to be posting this in chat. It's going to be coming to you via email as well. checklists. You can offer checklists like, hey, these are the things. Like, for example, I just gave you away a free content checklist, right? So maybe if you make it like really pretty on Canva or something, and we have a video for that, you should definitely check it out. You can go ahead and make that checklist when you can give that away. You can offer guides, you can give how-tos, you can give free trials of your platform, of your solution, of your WhatsApp group, right? By the way, very good call on the WhatsApp groups, Vikram. Another case in point is like what we're doing with Gigsy itself, right? So because we have creators of all types, right? We have you on, let's say, we have you on the platform, but you might not necessarily open all of our emails, you might not open up our SMSs, but like the eight of us who are here today are because we managed to get through to you one way or the other. And I get that, right? It might not be one method may not be necessarily working for all of you. So that's why we got to kind of expand our ecosystem. Other things we can do: samples, quizzes, reports, books. You can offer courses. You can give email courses. You can give products, audiobooks. You can give a productized service. You can offer custom service. You can offer memberships, that is again subscriptions. You can do workshops, webinars, masterclasses. I feel like I'm a waiter in a Tamil Nadu dosa restaurant, but what I am going to do is I am going to be sharing. I just pasted it here. It's going to come to you via email as well. So there are definitely things that we can do. What we do here, like these Thursday webinars, I would categorize them as office hours. And uh, one interesting project that we're going to be looking at, hopefully in the month of September, is for every single creator who's there on the platform with the two of us, right, Vikram and I. We're planning to make a program called Your First $1,000, right? And what we hope to do is within 30 days, right, from whenever we do start that program, right, we're going to be doing this 30-day challenge where you will finish creating this product and we will help you set up all of this. We're going to help you figure out what is the marketing that you need to do so that you start getting money into your account. Okay, that's it. I mean, there's look, I'll be honest with you. Only when you guys make money, does it mean that Gigsy as a platform is actually making money, right? So trust me when I say this, we're very heavily invested in your success. And it's not because like we want your money, but Vikram, myself, right? We're both artists in our own way. I do a lot of storytelling. I do voiceover work, and he pretends to play the guitar and just wave his rock star hair all around. But the point is this: okay, we know how painful it is to be in a 9 to 5 job, and trust me, we've had our downs, we've had our ups, we've had our lows, and even though Vikram believes, like Elsa and Frozen, that we should just let it go, I believe that roller coaster journey is definitely a lot more fun, and you know look, we do have our down moments, right? And we do have our up moments as well. But everything's a lot more fun when you have like some money in the bank, right? So that's kind of what we're going to be getting into, right? So Sharon, like, what are the different levels that you need to do, and what are the different kinds of things, different form factors that you can look at in terms of creating products? Before I move on to how you can figure out where to get ideas for these things, do you have any questions on this? Please speak now or forever hold your peace. Well, not forever, at least until the end of the session. So,
Yeah, I'm happy to answer any questions. Both of us are, so don't feel shy at any point in time. This is for you. So, yeah, I mean, for you.
But this is like a lot of fun as well. So,
yeah.
We have Sriram Cheniappa. I believe he's a new creator who's joined us. Welcome, Sriram.
Hey, so I would like to quickly introduce Sriram. It's very interesting because he's he's part of Gigsy's family, and he's one of Gigsy's ace developers, and he's also a creator on the platform. So yeah, there you go.
Yeah, just starting off right now, still figuring out how to do it.
With his voice, I believe he's planning to do Amitabh Bachchan song covers, but that's just all right, moving on. We're almost done, folks. All right, so if you have any questions, just keep them coming and we'll get that. All right, so if you want to figure out like different places, right? Different places where you can get inspiration for your ideas, like how do you actually figure out what are the different things? So think of it like literally as like steps, okay? At the basic level, you have like step, what about the ground floor, right? And then you have like level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. It doesn't have to stop at level 4. You can just keep on pushing it as much as you can go. Personally, the best that I have managed to do was to go up to like level 6. And this was with an analytics training company that I was working at called Gigsy Academy. So this process works, right? We start out with a free product and we managed to agent and send the thing until they paid like about 3.5 lakhs for a certification course from the University of Chicago, right? So it's possible to take somebody who just comes in for free and kind of like move them up the ladder. That definitely works. But if you're looking for ideas on what is the kind of stuff that you can actually do, uh, you probably have some things that you already made, right? So whatever you've made, kind of like break it down, right? You want to kind of unbundle your offerings, and what you want to do is you want to focus on quick wins, right? I've made this mistake before where I've said like even in Gigsy, right? I've said like, okay, here's this awesome 30 video course, right? Sorry, 40 video course called Epic Career Upgrades. There are 30 things that you can do, and it's really going to change your life. And I'm saying this because it will change your life. But what's happening here is that people look at this 30 things and they're like, there's no way I'm going to be able to do that, right? So there's a mental turnoff. And only my hardcore fans, only the people that who really support me, who know me really well, who trust me, went ahead and bought it. Now, when I saw that that was a challenge, I went ahead and tried to figure out, okay, so wait, maybe selling something at $5,500 is a big challenge, right? So maybe I need to kind of like ease down and figure out what is the other stuff that I can do. So what I've done is I've actually taken the same thing, those numbers that I shared earlier on the chat, which is free, 99, 499, 1499, 29, whatever, that thing, right? This is not conjecture. These are actual price points that I'm going to be using for the products that I'm creating. And for $99, I'm going to be giving them maybe a set of like 6 videos, right? Which are like about 1 minute long each or something. Or maybe it could be like a daily motivation course, right? Where in my deep voice, I just read out some really inspiration poems such as Ithaca or If by Rudyard Kipling. And what happens is, although I am trying to emulate our star developer, Sriram Cheniappa, I am trying to give something at that price point, which would be valuable for my audience. Now, I'm looking at what is the most like smallest cheapest thing that I could build, because the whole point here is to minimize risk. For somebody who hasn't seen me, asking them to spend $5,500 is very different than asking them to try something for free, or to look at say spending $99 for a month, right? That's what subscriptions on Gigsy are there for, right? These are things that we can definitely do. Apart from that, some people might say like, oh, but wait, I'm an artist, right? I'm a painter. I think, do we have any artists? Navya, are you? No, I'm guessing you're a dancer by your picture. Well, we have a lot of artists on the show, right? We have Tony. We have, for example, even. Oh, great, Samarth, you are an artist. Now, as an artist, right? Are you familiar with 10-100 Samarth on YouTube? 10-100. Okay, you should totally check it out, right? I'm just typing out his name. 10-100. He's an artist who sells like t-shirt designs, right? But he also has this very accomplished art style, which is something I would love to emulate. But the point is, he's also built up a product ladder for himself, right? He starts off by selling like doodles, right? On like virtual doodles for in his own distinctive art style for like I think $5 on Fiverr or something like that, right? He starts off with $5, which is like $300. Maybe you can start off saying that I will draw a caricature of you. I don't know what you do, Samar. I don't know the kind of art that you do, but perhaps you can say, what kind of art do you do, Samar? Not a problem, Mr. Ranga. Good luck. Samar? All right, I'm going to assume that he is a painter, okay, watercolor artist. I have no clue if that's what you do, but maybe he could say that I'm going to paint like one specific painting for you for about $199, and I'm going to ship it to you. Maybe that's something that he can start off with, or maybe he will accept like one crowd sourced topic for something. He's going to paint that every single this thing. I think perhaps Samarth has gone off to check out 10-100, but the point is this, right? You can definitely figure out what are the different things that you can do. Customization really helps. And you can ask your customers as well. That's one of the steps of the Passion to Profit Bootcamp, that 30-step process, right? You want to do that research, and you definitely want to do a lot more experimentation. Again, I'm going to be sharing all of these notes as a part of the email as well. Because look, at the end of the day, as long as you can focus on giving your audience quick wins meaning they take what you're doing and you can you can cater to immediate gratification, right? That's kind of the difference between education and entertainment, right? Entertainment is a quick win. That the dopamine, the serotonin, the oxytocin, and the endorphin levels, depending upon the kind of content that you're giving, the kind of entertainment you're giving, can shoot through the roof immediately if it is entertainment. But if it is education, right, it's going to require some slog. It's going to require some effort. So you have to strike that balance. Of course, that would essentially kind of lead us to what we've done so far, right? So far, to summarize, we have spoken about what is a product ladder. We've spoken about why we actually need a product ladder. We figured out what are the different levels that you need and what does a product ladder actually look like. We spoke about the different form factors, the different things that you can create to populate the different levels of your product ladder. And then we spoke about ideas, right? Where can you get ideas for this product ladder to come in from? And finally, for the summary, I'm going to request our beloved friend Vikram to go ahead and just figure out that thing. Just to round up the summary and tell us, why does every business actually need a product ladder? Kind of like just give us a quick recap of the entire thing.
Yeah, so let's basically start with how we started the whole conversation itself. We defined what a product ladder is, and we said that these are a range of products and services that increase in price and value. And I spoke about how this actually works in a way where you have a large number of people picking up your basic product offerings, and very personalized people who are picking up your apex offerings, and the price also and the value also for that is very, very high, right? We spoke about how product ladders help build trust. We understood how they even reduce risk. We also understood that in India, we typically start with a place of mistrust, and we need to go to trust unless we already have an audience that is engaged with us, right? And we also said that free is a very good start. In terms of giving an example, Arvind has already spoken about an example from all the way from free to 5,499. Some of the goals at different levels, from free all the way to level 4, could be about at the free level, capturing leads, building your following, establishing trust. At level 1 would be recovering your investment. At level 2 would be increasing your profits, growing your influence. At level 3 could be generating recurring revenue. At level 4 could be big money for big value. And a lot of these different types of things that you could offer is there in that big list that we've already put out in the Zoom chat channel. A lot of these things could work out as one of your subscription offerings or your ladder offerings in terms of product itself. Now, in order to make a ladder, the kind of ideas you would need is make things simpler, break it down into simpler pieces, unbundle some of these offerings, build smaller and cheaper products. Bottom line is to minimize risk. You need to be able to put out products there very, very quickly. So how would you be able to do that? Think about how you can actually break it down into smaller doable bits. Survey people who are very, very interested in what you do, right? Ask them how they will actually be moving on to different ladders. What would they need more from you? How would they want to, engage with you? See if there is competition, and if it means that you can actually copy something, copy it. I mean, it doesn't have to be blatant, but you can do it in your own style. Quick wins, right? Low hanging fruits. Find some items via research. You need to be on the ball all the time. You need to be looking at current trends of what you're actually doing as a creator and make appropriate changes, right? And bottom line is, we spoke about all of these things. Now, it's a beautiful way to actually start a business, going all the way from a free offering to a very premium offering. And I hope this session really gave you that perspective. And we are, we were very kicked about the session even before we started it. So I hope it really works very well for all of you. And I hope all of you really succeed with it. If you have any questions, we are happy to answer them now.
Yes, we are. Actually, you know what? Let's take this one step further. Why don't you guys unmute yourself and tell me, if you had to sell something for 99 bucks, okay? What is that you would create? What is one thing that we create for free? And what is one thing that you could sell for 99 bucks? Why don't I pick on Mr. Ishwaran? Because you're the first one alphabetically. Why don't you take a stab at it, just to share your thoughts on this?
Yeah, this ladder concept seems really impressive. Now, if you take up a concept, if you take some kind of an idea that you would like to impart as a value addition to people, and that is it's a huge or an immense, let's say, a course material.
Mm-hmm.
The free would be to highlight how this is going to help everybody if this is being subscribed to,
Mm-hmm.
or if people try to attend webinars or
Mm-hmm.
workshops on this, how it's going to help,
Hmm.
and give a few tips, maybe one or two tips in every free post that you're putting up,
Mm-hmm.
so that they get engaged.
Mm-hmm.
And then going to the next level at 99 rupees a month,
Mm-hmm.
there, as you rightly said, if you have 30 videos, just choose 6 videos and put it up. And so if you have an idea which is really going to work with people,
Mm-hmm.
then you take out more tips and start giving that on a daily basis,
Cool.
and then scale up this way
Mm-hmm.
until you're ready to give bigger chunk of ideas that could
Mm-hmm.
help people
Mm-hmm.
in various whatever field you're engaged in.
Mr. Ishran, I'm going to kind of press a little bit more on you right now at this moment. So specifically for you, what would be one free product? What would be the title of that free product that you would create?
Okay, I would be creating something like employability skills.
Okay. All right.
Employability
That's
skills
awesome.
is something that which is good for students as well as young executives who are
Mm-hmm.
trying to make a career.
Okay.
This is something that I would do where employability skills is so large
Mm-hmm.
that it can incorporate everything, right from leadership to stress
Soft
management
skills too.
to
Yes,
soft skills,
absolutely.
all of them.
Yes.
So this is
Yes.
something I would like to create, free and then give it away.
Very nice.
And then
And
later on at a subscription level, I'll be sharing my experiences in these.
so it could be like, again, training videos on something for 99 rupees.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, great. Thank you for sharing this, Ishwar. Now I'm going to
In
be
fact,
asked.
while discussing with you,
Uh-huh.
I got the idea. It's good.
Awesome. Awesome. Now I'm going to request Ms. Garima to please unmute yourself and share what is your idea for a free product, and what is something that you could create for 99 rupees.
Amazing, actually. I like the concept, and when I joined only yesterday, I think.
Oh, welcome.
And Vikram explained me this noon, like he was helping me out really.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a wide range of it. Like I can say, like it's kind of a mall. You can get
Mm-hmm.
everything and anything inside this.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm a life coach, I'm
Right.
a counselor,
Mm-hmm.
I'm a DMIT certified counselor,
Wow. That is so awesome.
and at times I also prepare handmade paper jewelry. I make envelopes, I make bookmarks,
Wow.
and my mom loves cooking, so she's running a small kitchen. So I'm just trying to even promote her.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a philanthropist where I work with NGOs and other things also. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to club everything together under one roof.
Awesome. But Ayan, once again, I'm going to put you on the spot, right?
Yeah. So
So,
you say when I'm going to create for free, I will give out bookmarks because we have lost the idea of like reading books nowadays. We
mm-hmm.
have more with the gadgets. So if and the bookmarks also have positive codes on that, which
Oh,
I gifted
nice.
like when I was working with Chaitanya as a counselor. I
Mm-hmm.
gifted 600 pieces to 600 students, and
Wow.
even
Okay.
today they remember me and they say, "Ma'am, we are having that bookmarks even now safe with us."
Very nice.
Okay,
Okay.
so those positive codes, no, they are kind of affirmations which gives you boost all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
I can give a pack of bookmarks for free, and
Mm-hmm.
then for 99 rupees, I can give the handmade paper jewelry
Okay.
and also the envelopes. I have a variety of envelopes. Like when we gift someone, like during birthdays or
Yeah.
anniversaries, we give money, right?
Or
So that
Chinese New
I
Year.
prepare.
I've seen those, the red envelopes that they have.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
prepare envelopes in the form of
Okay.
coat suit.
Nice.
They're
That's very
designer ones.
interesting. Awesome. I'm
So
guessing
I'm just
you
trying to
are
put that.
here as an artist who's like an origami slash paperwork specialist.
Not origami
Uh-huh.
exactly, kind of multiple things. I make best out of waste products mostly.
Okay. Upcycle stuff. Awesome. All right. Great. Thank you for sharing, Ms. Garima.
Yeah.
I'm now going to request Ms. Navya to please unmute and share your views.
See, being a dancer, I don't think I can give anything for free other than, like showing what I have. So
Mm-hmm.
probably I would give out some choreographies, one to trust them, make them, trust that, yes, this girl can do something.
Mm-hmm.
And second, if they're already a dancer, they can copy the same choreography. That's the only thing that I can put for free. because other than that, anything in this field like music or whatever, it costs, because the
Mm-hmm.
ones on YouTube either has one or two lines cut or one or two beats off or something like that. There's hardly anybody who uploads the entire
Mm-hmm.
thing. So
Mm-hmm.
there's nothing in this field that actually comes for free.
Just a second there. I'm now going to challenge this assumption, right? Just before that, Vikram, we do have 5 more minutes, right? So that's okay. Okay, cool. So you're saying that there is no more, but now I'm going to challenge you that if you had to do something related to dancing, but it cannot be dance, right? What else do you think you could do? Could you perhaps look at music? Could you perhaps look at books? Could you perhaps look at all the different form factors that we have created, right? That I have shared. Now, let's say if you had to make a checklist for dance, what kind of a checklist could you possibly make?
So I would start with what what is the chapter that I'm going to be teaching. So basically, I'm putting tutorials on Gigsy.
Mm-hmm.
So what is the chapter that is going to be? That's going to be my first chapter, and how much, like in what duration, how much can I teach? Whether it is just one basic step or two basic steps or three basic steps,
Mm-hmm.
things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I would also like jot down everything. And then if it is a choreography, then I would first select the song
Mm-hmm.
and then put down the meaning of the song
Mm-hmm.
and then choreograph for it.
Okay.
So everything is a long process.
Fair enough, fair enough. But you see, there is a process, right? Now, what if, okay, and this is again me spitballing with very, very minimal knowledge of dance. So please do forgive me if I don't get this right. But maybe you could essentially make that checklist, right? Maybe that could be the 99 rupee product that you have, this entire step by step checklist of how to design your own choreography for any song. Okay, I'm just
Yeah,
spitballing, yeah?
that
Maybe
and
that's
that's what I said. You cannot put anything for free. You can
yeah.
start with 99 for sure.
What about I do know that dance has like a number of different mudras, right? Maybe a series of photographs that explain what each mudra is. Maybe that is something that you could do for free because it
No,
would
that is also a huge chapter by itself, which
maybe a small portion of it, like what Mr. Ishwaran had said. I don't know how many mudras are there. Maybe you take like 3 of them or something, or 5 of them, and you could probably share that. See, the plan is very simple, right? Uh, we as artists, we take a lot of pride in the work that we do, into the effort that we put into mastering our craft. And I know that dancing is by no means easy, right? It requires a lot of dedication, effort, and perseverance. But you would have something that is known as I think it's called the curse of expertise. I'm probably massacring the name, but because you're so far ahead in your journey, it could be a challenge for you to think as somebody who's just setting out. Now,
yeah.
hypothetically, okay, I'm not saying that I'm going to be doing this, but if I wanted to learn dance, right? How I can't even imagine that. But let's say if I did, if I had to do something like that, right? I would need somebody who has been on this journey before. Somebody like you who's gone on this journey. Somebody who can teach me saying that, hey, you know what? First you do A, then you do B, then you do C, so that somebody can actually point that way. And along that way, right, you can obviously sell me stuff. There's nothing wrong because you're gaining that trust and attention from me. Perhaps that
True.
might help you, like looking at absolute beginners and seeing that, hey, what is something that could help them as well.
Yeah, so I could put up some tips for free,
Sure,
maybe like,
sure.
somewhere like I got stuck and I expected my teacher to help me and they
Hmm.
didn't, or they left me to,
Bingo.
get out on my own, or,
Yeah,
figure out how to get out. So
yeah.
such things probably can be put up for
What
free.
about, and I know this as well because my sister, she used to do dancing. Maybe there are places where you need to like rent the
Costume.
costumes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
You can
maybe,
have one on your own or you can rent them
yeah,
also.
yeah. So, but now see for a beginner, maybe what if you made something saying that, I don't know if you're from Bangalore, but let's say 5 best places to rent dance
Yeah.
costumes in
Yeah,
Bangalore.
you could do that. That
Yeah.
that could be done for free.
Yeah. So see stuff like that. As soon as you start thinking, not just focusing on the dance, but the ancillary things as well, right? Like maybe
Hmm.
what is it that you need when you're going for a performance? I don't know, but maybe something like that.
That is the most essential thing, because
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
any performance that you go to, either one or the other would have missed something, and we're always in that last moment thing
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
yeah, where is this, where is that, and all
Or
that. So green
yeah.
room stories
Or, or,
basically.
or what about Alta, the thing that you put on your hands, right? Well, what if
Hmm.
like 5 different brands, like which one's like best for you? Again,
No,
just
I
to,
found an alternative for
there
it
you
because
go.
Alta is always a mess.
Yeah. So, but you see what I'm saying, right? So there are things that
Yeah,
you
got
can
that.
do. So that would really help. Thank you very much, Ms. Navya. Sriram, since you are one of us, I'm going to give you the honor of going last. Please do tell us, what is it that you would like to do?
So yeah, basically what I do currently is post like tech news.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to keep it going at least twice a week. I think I lived up to it last week.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to live up to it this week as well.
Mm-hmm.
Try to post on Fridays and Mondays. That's the general trend that I'm going for.
Mm-hmm.
I think like you said, I started off with only paid posts. I could start off with a few free ones to get people engaged. I
Mm-hmm.
think that's a good place to start. I think I was overreaching when I decided to put all of my posts under subscribed under the subscribed tier. So I think, as you said, I could start off with a few free posts, and
Mm-hmm.
then as people get more engaged, I think that's when we need to start
Cool.
moving towards more paid.
One piece of clarification that I would like to offer to each and every single person here is that your audience may not be on Gigsy already. Okay, this is something which is very vital to understand. Your audience, right? Your network already exists on Facebook, already exists on Instagram, already exists on LinkedIn. Your WhatsApp groups, your Telegram groups, wherever they are. In the beginning, you have to do what is known as fishing, right? As a fisherman or a fisherwoman, you would have to go to wherever the fish are and you have to do fishing. In this case, fish are your target audience. Eventually, once you do have enough influence, then you can start farming. That's when you get people to say, hey, you know what? If you want to find me, get more stuff like this, come to me on Gigsy, come to me on my email list, come to me on my Telegram group, whatever the thing is. But the key point is to remember that you start off as fisher people, right? And then you move on to farming. So that's a very important thing. Anyway, thank you all
Yeah,
very much.
Arvind,
Yes,
just
yes, Mr. Ishwar.
1 minute. See, there's a concept that I developed a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
We all have goal setting and stuff, and people, follow certain goals and they fall apart after some time. They don't, proceed.
Mm-hmm.
So I came up with some concept which really picked up well a couple of years ago in the country I was staying in.
Mm-hmm.
It went up to the level of including that in Ministry of Schools. That is,
Wow.
engaging the goal with emotions.
Mm-hmm.
The emotion is something it's irresistible. Once you get emotionally involved in something, you don't come out. So how to identify these emotional reasons
Mm-hmm.
to engage yourself with the goal.
Mm-hmm.
So for this, to identify the goal, I've got a process. Like there are 50 assessment questions people have to answer
Mm-hmm.
to identify what their real goal is.
Mm-hmm.
So this is something that I could give out free, this
Absolutely.
assessment questions. So they know how to figure out what the goal is.
Yes. Yes.
Engaging it
Absolutely.
emotionally is a step which I can charge, when
Mm-hmm.
the subscription happens.
Right. And one of the easiest ways that I have discovered to do something exactly like what you're talking about, one could be to hire a developer who can build this out and spit out the right assessment. That is one way.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you are doing are you using WordPress?
Yes.
Okay. In that case, I've just typed out one thing, AriStream Quiz. Okay. I think it's about
Okay.
$17. It's a plugin that you can get and you can
Mhm.
start setting up your own assessments like this, right? I have set up one at careerrisklevel.com. And that's essentially a quiz that people can take to figure out what is their career risk level.
Okay.
And then once they do that, there is an automatic email that goes out. And again, it's all done with that same plugin that is there, AriStream Quiz. But if you don't want to break your head, and for those who are not technologically inclined, I would say just find a developer and who can build this for you, pay them, and then save yourself the headache and the heartache. So
Yep.
that's what I would recommend. All righty. I think I'm done with my ranting and rambling. Vikram, if you could please take us home, like country roads, and we'll be good.
Yeah, well, I don't have anything more to add because I rambled quite a bit as well about what this whole session was about. So thank you for coming. And yeah, look forward to having you people weekly here. I mean, there's a lot of useful information that comes out. So the more the merrier, and just makes sense if you have more people coming on board, and please refer more people as well to get onto Gigsy as creators. Thank you so much. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. And one last thing, we might be having a special guest joining us next week. We will definitely keep our fingers crossed and all of you informed about it as well.
Yes.
It'll, well, let's see how it goes. All right. Thank you very much for coming in. Appreciate it.